Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished laureates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to have been asked to say some words this evening on the occasion of the ECF Princess Margriet Award for Culture being received by the two co-founders of the Athens Biennale, Ksenia Kalpatsoglu and Pokaio. A well-deserved recognition indeed. Together with Augustin Xenakos, they initiated the first Athens Biennale in 2007 under the title that sounded like a call for action, Destroy Athens. In fact, it was meant to be a call for thinking or rethinking of the state of things in their country at that time. The first biennial took a stance against the founding cultural stereotypes of Athens and larger Greece and attempted to use contemporary art as a medium transforming the perception of the country in the eyes of its citizens and visitors alike. I did not see this show, but the eyewitnesses told me that those arriving in Athens airport were confronted with posters carrying exactly this slogan, Destroy Athens, which was a full détournement of the messages usually welcoming the tourists to Greece, a country generally known for its ancient history and beautiful islands. By rhetorically demanding destruction of Athens, committing matricide at the moment of its birth, the Athens Biennale demanded from the viewers to see Greece as reality and not as a projection screen. In doing so, the organizers of the Biennale followed in the steps of a Greek poet, Yorgos Vassiliou Makris, who named himself a chief organizer of the Union of Aesthetic Saboteurs of Antiquities and published in November 1944 a manifesto announcing a plan to blow up the Parthenon. This text, a proclamation of anti-nationalistic, anti-reactionary nihilism, became one of the motifs of the Athens Biennale in 2007, a foundation stone that was thrown rather than laid. And that for good reasons, as 2 years later, the economic crisis in Greece hit and was officially announced, worsened by the inefficiency of the Greek state and its institutions with its corrupt and clientelist political class that gave in to the global financial crisis caused by the bursting of housing bubble and resulting insolvency of banks in the United States of America in 2007. In the meantime, the organizers of Athens Biennale, calling themselves XYZ from the names of the three founders, Ksenia, Io, and Xenakos, succeeded to present the second edition entitled Heaven, which I saw and had a pleasure to review. The choice of location for the second biennial in 2009, the mostly disused sports complex on the coast, abandoned after the Greek Olympics of 2004, ended up in controversies around excessive costs, shady construction deals, and lack of forward thinking in planning the future of the hastily built facilities after the Olympic Games, feels almost like a premonition from today's perspective. Two editions of the Athens Biennale followed: Monodrome in 2011, named after the eponymous collection of literary fragments by Walter Benjamin, and Agora in 2013, which used the former trading floor of the Greek Stock Exchange as its main venue. Again, a symbolic and practical choice of location, metaphorical and yet embodying the truth of the political and economic context, a momentum of change, a curatorial strategy of working in situ, which in the meantime became trademark of the biennial's organizers. This biennial, realized by a team of 30 co-curators, opened 5 years into the crisis in November 2013, exactly on the day when the leaders of the Golden Dawn, a neo-fascist party that rapidly emerged from relative obscurity in the 80s to become a significant political power in Greece in the wake of the financial crisis, were jailed on allegations of running a criminal organization. This was one of the many situations in which Athens Biennale organizers found themselves compelled to take position towards political realities around them, rather than simply watch by and take an aesthetical distance. Athens Biennale is not an urban regeneration project or a means to raise the city's attractiveness for prospective investors. It is, rather, a project devised as an analytical tool reflecting its immediate socio-political environment, the city, constantly checking on its own status as a critical device, and changing strategies according to the needs of the moment, instead of defining its thematic scope according to the willful decision of one or another curator. There is something urgent and pertinent in how the Athens Biennale is organized, a degree of responsibility in thinking about the role it should play, which makes it a rarely seen example of a truly site-specific project, the one that gets involved with conditions of the place and time of its making. Needless to say, this biennial, and in particular its last two editions, have been produced on extremely tight budget, which does not compare to exhibitions with a similar ambition elsewhere in Europe. The fact that it did take place at regular intervals during the last 8 years nears a miracle. Or rather, since the organizers are not believers but doers, it has to be credited to their incredible energy, inventiveness, and capacity to improvise, despite the scarcity of means and very little support they received from Greece and internationally. The award that they are receiving today is the proof that their efforts have not passed unnoticed, and I very much hope that it will bring the biennial the attention and concrete support it badly needs and fully deserves in their own country and in Europe. Tonight, I'm very happy to congratulate Ksenia and Pokayo receiving the award, and at the same time I take the opportunity to formulate a call for solidarity and support in hope that the biennial will continue in the coming years. I remember putting finishing touches to my proposal to organize Documenta 14 in Athens and Kassel in 2017 on the night after visiting the opening of the 4th Athens Biennial in 2013. I was convinced then, and I am still absolutely certain today, that the idea of sharing the exhibition of Documenta 14 between the two cities that at present embody a polar opposition between two Europes, the North and the South, that metonymically also stands for the East, with all political consequences of that move, is urgent and necessary. I'm honored to include the Athens Biennial among the partners of Documenta 14 in Athens, and I truly believe that our collaboration will bring fruits in the two upcoming editions of the biennial in 2015 and 2017. Congratulations again, and thank you for your attention.